Hey, I'm back again with a really quick update on the latest announcements as we get closer to Tropical Cyclone Alfred making landfall. I'm not going to overlay any visuals as I want to get this out as quickly as possible to you so that you can be up to date with all the important things to expect. We'll look at what services will be impacted in the coming days, expected impacts on worst affected suburbs and where they are, and then the timing of when Alfred is expected to arrive. As this is the Brisbane Channel, these updates are for people living in Greater Brisbane's 5 LGAs, but much of it will also be relevant to people living in South East Queensland and northern New South Wales that may also be affected. Firstly, the Queensland Premier has announced that an emergency declaration has been signed for 21 Queensland LGAs, including all 5 Greater Brisbane LGAs, allowing shops, warehouses and transport depots to operate around the clock, allowing them to restock 24 hours a day to better cope with demand from people stocking up in preparation. This comes as reports have started coming in of shelves emptied of water and toilet paper, similar to what we saw in COVID times. If you've got kids, the federal government has made an emergency declaration for childcare services in 15 LGAs, including all of Greater Brisbane's, which means that parents won't have to pay gap fees for any days their children are unable to attend until the declaration is lifted. Schools will also be closed tomorrow and Friday in the affected areas. This morning it was announced that public transport services will cease at midnight tonight and will not be running until further notice, certainly not on Thursday and Friday. Elective surgeries also will not go ahead on Thursday and Friday in the affected area. A red alert has been issued for boats from midday today, meaning that no boats can be out on the water anywhere between Double Island and Coolangatta from 12 p.m. Brisbane City Council already suspended their CityCat services earlier this week, and the Storybridge footpaths will be closed from 5:30 p.m. today. Curbside waste collection will cease from tomorrow until further notice across Greater Brisbane. The federal government is positioning heavy lift helicopters near but outside the affected area in preparation for their disaster response. As for refuge centres, Brisbane City will open a cyclone refuge centre at the RNA Showgrounds from 7 a.m. tomorrow. In the words of Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner, it will be a very basic facility to provide shelter only and will not have beds or cooking facilities. It's only to provide last resort shelter during the most intensive part of the cyclone. Logan City Council Mayor John Raven has said that they are looking into refuge centres and will make an announcement later today. The good news for those sleeping rough is that the state premier has announced that they will be attempting to provide shelter, although little detail about where and how that would be carried out was given. So what can we expect now that meteorologists are getting a little clearer as we get closer to the time Alfred makes landfall? They're saying that damaging winds will likely start developing late today, increasing to destructive winds tomorrow and Friday. Tropical Cyclone Alfred is likely to cross the coast somewhere between Brisbane and the Gold Coast at around 2 a.m. Friday morning. This will coincide with high tide around 1 a.m, so together this will likely create a storm surge, and areas on the south side of Alfred may become inundated with water between 50 centimetres and a metre above the highest natural tide. This means that residents of Redland City should be alert if they're in a low-lying area by the coast. Across the Greater Brisbane area, we can expect winds of up to 95 km an hour and gusts up to 130 km per hour. The most destructive winds will be on the southern side of the system. There'll also possibly be daily rainfall of between 200 and 400 millimetres, which may cause flash and riverine flooding. The latest forecast from the Bureau of Meteorology predicts up to 20,000 properties will be at risk of some level of inundation. In Brisbane City, the areas most at risk include Nudgee Beach, Brighton, Windsor, Ashgrove, Morningside and Rocklea. Authorities are warning people from these areas to seek alternative accommodation. Of course, it's important for you to keep up to date on your part of Greater Brisbane by checking your local area's disaster dashboard. I mentioned that in this video, along with ways to make sure you're best prepared, but the Queensland Government's disaster management page has them all linked, along with other useful information. Stay safe, Brisbane.